Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Paws and Claws run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Soldier, which I think both goes very well with the new pets thanks to the bonus damage, and also has received a major fix recently. This character was bugged and wasn't getting to attack right after it stopped moving, which made it much more difficult than the intended play pattern for the character. That bug has been fixed, so we're going to give the new and improved Soldier a go. For weapons, I think I'm going to use the Flute. I haven't tried Soldier with Flute. This is going to be a very difficult run, I think, overall. But what better way to get a giant army, of course, than to turn the enemies to our side as well. So we're going to be obviously trying to buy pets and focusing on charming enemies. I definitely am going to need more Flutes here. So you can see that as soon as we stop moving, so I'm like tap moving. So as soon as we stop moving, we get to shoot again, which is really important for this character. I will note that we were taking hits there because Flute is a very slow attacking weapon, so it didn't do a great job at keeping us alive. But once we get a couple more of those, hopefully that will even out. We'll take a 5 harvesting upgrade here, and then really unlucky to miss on Flutes, unfortunately. We really would like to buy 2 more, and I think since we missed, that's no longer possible, because I think it costs 25 on the first shop. I could be wrong about that number. I'm going to go ahead and ban Claw Tree here, but we'll lock Scar, and then we'll roll. Okay, 23, so we could still roll into another Flute. I'll leave Small Fish in the pool, but not lock it, and I'll roll again, and we got another Flute, and I'll take a Corrupted Shard as well, and then we'll go to wave 2 here. So that enemy got charmed, but also died, which is kind of funny. So I'm working my way, just tap moving over towards the tree there. And then we're using the extra attack speed that the Soldier gets to make this relatively weak weapon still good at clearing the early waves, even before we can actually charm things. Here, I'm going to reroll. I'm looking for luck or harvesting. 8% damage is also kind of interesting, but let's just roll again, and we'll take 5 luck. Of course, we want to boost our luck with the Flute, since the damage scales off of luck. We'll reroll here and reroll again. We're looking for more Flutes, and we'll go ahead and lock that and go to wave 3. Definitely need to get the full weapon set online with the Soldier. It's so important that you are able to clear the waves as quickly as they spawn, because you can't move and shoot at the same time. So you really are just comparing your damage to the number of enemies on the field and how much health they have to see whether you can survive. So you always have to stay ahead of that damage curve when you're playing this character. In the early waves, the Flute's charm is not going to be significant. The enemies just don't have enough health for us to charm them. We'll take 10 more luck here. That's perfect. Range is actually not terrible for the Soldier specifically. Because this character can't move and shoot, we need to start shooting from further away. So we will be taking the occasional range upgrade when we get it in a really efficient way. That being said, 30 range I don't think is worth it here. We're going to roll again for luck or harvesting, and we'll roll one more time. All right, we missed a few times, but we'll take 5 harvesting here. We'll buy the Flute, and this is an interesting spot. I could re-roll, because we're guaranteed to see at least 1 weapon in the shop. We have a musical weapon, so we're fairly likely to find another Flute, and that would get me to 6, which would be really important. It would mean giving up on 2 slots, because we would leave Scar and Corrupted Shard locked. I could buy Corrupted Shard and then re-roll 3, because we'd still be able to afford a Flute after that. If I buy the Scar, we won't be able to. I think I am going to do that. So I'm going to buy the Corrupted Shard, I'm going to re-roll, and then we'll buy a Flute. And that way we were able to get to 6 weapons right away. It means delaying the Scar for a round, but that's less important than the extra luck and the extra killing power. Mastery, I think I'm just going to go ahead and ban this, and then I'll throw in a re-roll to try to lock another Flute. We really want to upgrade these as well. Yeah, this character does feel a lot smoother to play. It's only a tiny fraction of a second of extra time attacking. But that tiny fraction of a second matters so much for a character like this one. Really nice to get the charm on the Lamprey there. Can help us kill stuff. That little slasher getting charmed as well is great. Any chance we can kill this loot alien? I think we can. Yeah, we got it. All right, so I didn't get the curse alien kills, but we got the loot alien. We got 2 crates, so I'm feeling pretty good there. Piercing shots are super important for the flute. You really want piercing shots, even on the soldier where they matter less. So we will take the eye patch and we'll start building some critical hit to make that work. Losing 3 attack speed for 2 HP I think is worth it. My max HP is pretty low, so I will take the bonus HP there. And then we're going to do a reroll. I'm really hoping for 8 harvesting if possible. I'll roll again. I was going to take whatever showed up in this shop, but this is all really bad. So let's roll again, and we'll just take 10 luck here. Okay, Catling gun, this is great. That will help us defend ourselves. So this is a great way to be able to stay still. On the soldier, of course, we always want to remain motionless. So the Catling gun will usually be angry as well. This will be 80 materials, so we're 2 short. Do I want the flute first or the cat first? I think I want to buy the flute, because we're very likely to re-roll into another flute. So I'm going to roll here. Turret, we're probably not going to build engineering on this character, so let's just go ahead and ban turret and cute monkey, and then we'll re-roll again. Ritual, I will lock. I think that is a reasonable purchase, and I'll throw in 1 more re-roll to try to lock another flute. All right, great. Still hoping to get a few more charmed creatures here, of course. There we go. And we should be able to kill the curse aliens fairly easily this wave. I didn't get them last wave because they spawned in slightly awkward locations. Have to be very careful of the floaters there, obviously, since they fire projectiles. But now our damage is higher, and we have a little more ability to defend ourselves, so we were able to go after the curse aliens. We also got an extra spawn of a 3rd curse alien, I believe, so we made up for the fact that we missed 2 last wave by getting 1 this wave. On the soldier, I generally prefer regen over lifesteal. When you're running away, you can't shoot. And when you need to heal, you'll also very likely be running away. So this character, I think, typically prefers regen, even though you're a fast-attacking ranged character. So I'm just going to take the 3 here. That said, the level 3 lifesteal upgrade is still good enough to pick up, I think. We'll go ahead and upgrade our weapons. We'll buy the Catling gun. We'll buy the tree. I think it's worth keeping the ritual. I could also ban it. It's not, like, the most exciting item, and we would get a free reroll. So let's just do that. It's basically free money to ban the ritual there. And then we'll take an extra flute, and we've managed to get pretty good weapon levels on a fairly expensive weapon, which is really nice. Got the first unit that we shot charmed, which is always good. So I would love to enrage the cat here, but we do need to kind of move around to get that tree. A loot worm would be really nice as well, because that would allow us not to move around the map as much, since it would go kill trees for us. And that's a lot of what puts pressure to actually move on the soldier, is trees, which of course you still want to kill. Our charmed army and our actual weapon attacks were able to take out the loot alien as well. There's a curse alien down here. I don't think we're going to get it in time. Unfortunate, but but that's okay. All right, coil, great item for the soldier. You do want knockback on this character. It's one of the ways you can defend yourself, and you start with a bunch, so we just get 20% damage when we pick up this coil. I'll take the scared sausage as well. It only costs us 11, and there's synergy items with elemental damage. We also could end up with some free elemental damage, so there's some reasons to pick that up. Here, I'll take 10 harvesting, going up to 25, and then let's pick up some more attack speed. We need as much attack speed as we can get. We'll take the whistle here as well. Even though we have scared sausage, I'm not going to buy elemental damage at a fairly poor rate, like with the charcoal. So I'm just going to go ahead and ban that, and then I'll do a reroll. Baby elephant is a great way to deal damage. Dangerous bunny is good. And I'll lock the medical turret and lens. With a character that wants to stay still all the time, medical turret is pretty nice. And lens, although it does decrease our range, which I talked about being actually more important on this character than on other characters. It also gives us half a damage on each of our weapons, so it's still worth buying at a fairly reasonable rate. Although you prefer to scale Flute with luck, and mostly don't want to buy ranged damage, since you only get 50% scaling, and so the equivalent level of luck increase is more damage per shot, and of course gives you all of the benefits of the luck. Once you've leveled your flutes a little. When you get cheap ranged damage, it can still be worth buying. Took me a second to remember how that sentence had started, since I added so many nested clauses. Go over here and grab some material pickup. Sadly, we didn't kill the tree. I didn't see it in time. Cyber Ball, another way to keep the wave clear, and then let's do a reroll here. I have no armor currently, so I pretty much am forced to take 3 armor. You just have to have armor to play Brotato. The coral is beneficial for the soldier in the sense that we're often going to be standing still, but not as good as you might think on this character, because we will often be moving when we need to heal. So although this item looks synergistic, it's not as good as it looks. I think on balance, it's still worth buying on a character that intends to stay still all the time, but it's very close to just not being good enough. I'm going to reroll here, and then we'll take a lure. Wheelbarrow at this point, I think, is worth locking as well. So now we can start building like a little fortress with our cat and our medical turret and everything. We don't need to yet, so I'm still going to move around and make sure that we're clearing trees and loot and curse aliens that might spawn, but once the waves get a little more difficult, we may need to start holing up in a corner. Got the sound effect from the whistle there. Very useful for this character, even more so than most, because we often won't be moving, so we're less likely to see the loot alien. So whistle, I think, particularly good on the soldier. With only 23 HP and 3 armor, and my healing isn't great, our defensive stats are definitely fairly weak. But our offensive stats and our ability to clear waves are pretty good, so the defensive stats will hopefully start showing up soon. We'll take 15 luck here, and then I'm going to reroll, and I'll pick up 10 more luck. Again, just increasing the base damage of our weapons. Although we do have the eye patch, so it does hurt to lower our crit chance, metal is too good to pass up. We're always going to take that. I'll leave the coral locked. Unfortunately, I think I have to take the defective steroids. It's not what I want to take here, but we haven't been offered that much HP, and 27 is very low. 40 for 2 health is pretty bad, but I think it's still worth it. Whetstone and Campfire, I'm actually going to pass on both of these. We have Coil, so I don't want to reduce my knockback, and as I discussed previously, the lifesteal on this character is much less powerful than it looks. So I'm going to throw in a reroll here. I'll buy a Scar. I'll buy a Weird Ghost. A second medical turret gives us a lot of resilience, so I'll pick that up as well, especially if they spawn close together. That can potentially give us a place where we can stand where we will not be able to easily die. Getting the Hatcher spawned is awesome. It spawns charmed eggs, and then those spawn charmed slashers, so now we have a whole army in a can. Also, I like the cat just wandering over to assassinate the loot alien on the left there. That was very kind of it. The soldier's a very high APM character for this game. You have to be constantly tap moving. So you'll notice, I didn't talk about this yet, but you'll notice that the way that we're moving around the field is I'm just tapping the movement keys. That's because we always want to be stopped so that we can fire our weapon, but we do still want to move around. So you need to make sure that you're constantly tap moving and constantly stopping in order to benefit from this character's passive. We ran over there to kill that loot alien as well. We got the third one. Metal plate, obviously amazing. White flag. I'm just going to throw in a ban now, and recycling machine I guess I'll take. And then I'll take 20 luck. 7 crit chance, also tempting, but this is a level 4 upgrade, so let's just take that, and we'll take 15 attack speed as well. Then we're going into wave 10 with the coral, double medical turret, and double medical turret. I feel like we're pretty safe to buy Weird Ghost here. This is more dangerous on this character than on other characters because you have a harder time not taking damage, but it is still very powerful to get the extra HP for very cheap. We'll take the baby elephant here. Campfire, I think I'm going to pass again. Losing move speed is really bad on this character, so... but I will save my ban for a free reroll at some point. Take the lumberjack shirt and the propeller hat and roll again. Finally got a leveled up flute. That's really nice, so we'll pick that up. I'll lock the fresh meat as well. Again, although lifesteal isn't that important, still useful to pick it up. And then we'll lock these. Strange book I'm going to lock and just ban because we can get a free reroll out of that. So, oh yeah, I need to actually not move at the start of the run here. Coral doesn't work like the soldier. There's a very slight delay still before it applies the bonus regeneration. So you need to stay still a little bit more for the coral regen than you do for shooting as the soldier. I do think that they should actually change that so that every standstill effect works the same. I think they were starting to do that in this most recent update, but I don't believe it's fully consistent yet. It would unbalance the streamer greatly, because if it worked where you instantly started getting the money, currently you need to stay still for a full second to start getting money on the streamer. But everything else, I think, should just work the same, where it starts working immediately. I'll take Pocket Factory just for fun, and it pulls a level 2 item out of the pool. And then this is a spot where we're guaranteed a level 3 upgrade. So I could take 45 range and try to fix my range here, but I think that I just need to roll for armor. We currently have 5 armor, so going up to 8 is going to make us much safer against the elite. We'll buy the flute, we'll buy Gentle Alien, we'll go ahead and ban the Strange Book, take our free reroll here. Shady Potion, amazing for this character, so I'll grab that. I'll take the Bone Dice as well. Our percent damage is very high, but and our HP is fairly low, but this is still just value every time we reroll, so it's still pretty useful. Ugly Tooth can be pretty good against the elites, which is what I'm really worried about, so I'm going to go ahead and lock that, and then I'll do another reroll. Metal Plate I'm going to take. Community Support, I think we're actually going to pass on Community Support. This is an item I've come down on a lot. When you sort of look at the numbers, it's somewhere between 20 and 30% attack speed most of the time, but much less for this character because we're often going to be killing enemies far away because we have flutes. And -2 armor is a huge penalty, so spending 150 materials on 20% attack speed and -2 armor, and sometimes it's not going to work because we'll have charmed unit or pets and stuff clearing the waves as they spawn. It just isn't a very good deal on this character, and I think that community support is generally overrated, previously by me, and then also by other players, because it looks like a really powerful effect. There are builds, of course, where it's still very, very good, but I don't think it's an auto-buy the way it often seems to be perceived in the community. I'll take another Scared Sausage for 36. I guess I'll take a Whetstone here. It does cost me 3 damage, but the lifesteal's still good. And then let's do a reroll. I'm going to take the 5 crit chance. I do want to build some crit chance for our piercing shots, and then let's take 6 HP, because my HP is very bad. I'll then buy all of these items, and then do a reroll as well. Crystal, amazing for this character. We actually, we have no elemental damage. The Blazemander still does okay damage, because it's getting the bonuses from our Scared Sausage damage. So I think I will take it. We'll go ahead and buy the Flute here, and then I'll do a reroll. Little muscly dude, 5 HP. We have 45 I think we can do better than that. So let's roll again, and Cursed Wings is amazing. That gives us the range that we need and fixes our movement speed as well. And then Duct Tape for more armor, so we'll just lock this whole shop. Alright, so what elite we get is going to determine whether we can fight it here. The soldier usually wants to try to kill elites, but it can be very difficult if you don't have just overwhelming upfront damage, because you can't shoot while you're moving, and a lot of the elites want you to move in order to avoid their attack patterns. This one isn't that bad because you only have to move a little bit to avoid its attack pattern, so we were able to keep constant damage on it. Also, we did get fairly lucky with our medical turret spawn. They both spawned on top of each other, so we were able to benefit from the healing of both of them at once, which made it much safer to fight that elite. Obviously, we didn't need that. We could have won the fight without the medical turret spawning together, but it definitely made it much safer. Run over there and kill that loot alien, and then run up there and shoot the tree. Okay, well, we have a pocket factory, and obviously 50% XP gain is good, so I'll take that. Consumable healing is pretty important to this character, but our max HP is really bad, so let's just go ahead and increase that. We'll recycle fuel tank. Do I want attack speed or 10 luck? I think 15 attack speed is better. We'll take the wings. We'll buy Crystal, Blazemander, and Duct Tape, and then we'll do a free reroll. We have really high luck, of course, because we're playing a Flute build, so we'll buy Pearl for 12% damage, and then that'll get even better. Rip and Tear I might consider normally, but we have the piercing shots, so I still want to boost my crit chance, so I'm going to pass on the Rip and Tear. I think I'll pass on the fresh meat at this point as well and just do another reroll, and then we'll lock a Cauldron. And for 13, I'll roll 2 items there, and we were hugely rewarded for that with one of the best items for the character. Sifd's Relic, of course, means that we no longer have to worry about dropping materials outside of our pickup range. Now we've got a huge gang on our side as well. So I don't know how good the Blazemander is going to be. We've obviously passed on increasing our elemental damage a few times, and Blazemander, unlike the other pets, mostly does want you to actually have the relevant damage type. I see this occasionally in the comments of people are like, why did you buy the pet that uses a damage type other than the one you're building? And I think that the base damage on the pets, sort of like Incendiary Turret, is actually good enough to just buy a lot of the time, even if you aren't building that damage. They mostly get 60% damage scaling, so like the Bonk Dog gets 60% of your melee damage, so it's not even that exciting to buy melee damage for it. Obviously, it's better if you've been building melee damage, but I don't think it's necessary to buy the pets. Here, I'll just take 4 regen. Our regeneration is very poor, and we have Sifd's Relic, so we're about to get more armor. And then let's roll, upgrade our Flute, roll again, lock a Flute and a Weird Food, and then we'll go to the Horde wave. The wings here is such an important find for us. Also, that 9 crit chance upgrade is really nice because it's giving us piercing shots. Very nice for the Horde wave as well. If we get a few free pearls from crates, then that would also be phenomenal. Obviously, we're building a lot of luck, and this character does need to be ahead of the curve. So we still have the challenge with this build, and you can kind of see that happening here, where you are essentially just comparing your stats to the total stats of the enemy wave. And you can see that when we're not ahead, that can often just involve us getting overwhelmed and instantly dying. So we're just barely strong enough to beat this Horde wave, which I wasn't that worried about. Nice material count here as well. But is it was actually a little closer than I thought it would be. And we just need to make sure that we're increasing our damage so that we're not getting overwhelmed. Like, didn't happen there, but was starting to come close to happening. I'll take the blindfold as well. That is a great find for our piercing shots. And, of course, we could build dodge, though it's not very good on this character. Laser turret for 96. Even though we have a bunch of it, we have 11 engineering. 100 materials is so much. I'm just going to take this. Obviously, we're recycling Terrified Onion. And here I think I just have to take 6 HP. This character really needs higher health. You need a lot of max health when you're playing the soldier because you're often going to be taking damage and then running away. You need to make sure that you're not in danger of taking another hit if you happen to take damage while you're running away. We'll buy the propeller hat here. Dock Moth, hard to stay in the aura, though I guess we could just tap move along with the moth, and that just gives us double healing all the time. We'll buy Broken Mouth for sure. What I'm deciding on is if I want the Celery Tea. It's less dangerous with Flute than with other weapons, because enemies effectively have lower health thresholds, since you just need to hit them enough times when they're below the health threshold. But we also have a lot of XP gain, so I just don't think we need it. I'm just going to pass on that. Ice Cube is nice. We have double Scared Sausage, so it goes with that. I don't want eye surgery, though. The Scared Sausage damage isn't important. We just want it for the synergy at this point. More percent damage I will take, even though we've been trying to build HP this whole game. Very important to keep our damage up. Losing move speed is bad, but gaining tons of money is good. So, of course, we'll take the Gobbler's Hat. I guess our regen is also a lot better than it looks like, because we have double coral, and now it's going to be triple coral. So we have a lot more regeneration than our on-paper regen. We did get a 5% dodge there. So, the old natural 20. So yeah, so I'm thinking that Dock Moth is kind of fun for the soldier because you can just do this. It's not really necessary for this this run or anything, but it does. It's fun for a couple reasons. One, of course, you get the double healing, but two, this is a fairly natural path for the soldier to follow anyways. It covers the whole map, so we're getting vision of the whole map. And pickup radius on the whole map, basically, because of the increased pickup radius. So we're not going to miss any trees or loot alien spawns or anything if we're doing that. So that's a pretty powerful tool, I think. I could spend 50 on 2 elemental damage, but I still don't think the Scared Sausage is going to be a big part of our plan. 1 damage for each of our weapons on the Reinforced Steel for -3 speed. I think that's okay, though it's very close. And then here we'll take 4 armor. I'll do a reroll. I'm about to decrease my dodge, so I really don't think we're building dodge on this character. But here is a spot where we're going to take a big range level up. It's not against anything in particular. Oh, wow. I don't know which of the 2 of the best economy items in the game I should buy first. This is actually really interesting. I think the Gobbler's Hat is still better to buy first. But because we'll just get way more money overall. But the Anvil upgrading our weapons is pretty nice. Fried Rice, also a great find for our Scared Sausages, so we'll have some extra regen from that. Garden, I think we can pass on, so let's do 1 more reroll, and hey, 1% damage. Happy with that. Some pretty ridiculous rolls in this run as well. We got a bunch of level 4 upgrades. I mean, we have a lot of luck, so we're more likely to find those. But we got Sifd's Relic, we got Gobbler's Hat, we got Anvil, some of the just overall most powerful items for the character. Gobbler's Hat is an especially strong economy item because it gives you real materials. So it drops more materials, which means you get the XP as well. So it works with our bonus XP gain, of which we have a fair amount. It continues to level our character, so we're basically guaranteed to hit level 25 now. We might even hit level 30 with the Gobbler's Hat. So we just get so much value out of that. I'll take the Sad Tomato here. I'm going to pass on the Ghost outfit. The penalties are really bad, and we're at -7 dodge, so we're just never building dodge. I could take 10 luck here, and I guess I will. Just increasing our damage before we go fight the elite, really important. Let's buy all of these. Half a damage on each of our weapons for 60 I don't think is great, so we'll pass on the Feather. We'll buy the Flute. Oh, I should be doing the Anvil math as well. So currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Anvil triggers in order to upgrade to maximum. I'll pass on the Mushroom. I still don't want to decrease our luck. And we'll lock this Flute and roll again. So, for example, if I buy this level 1 Flute, that would be, we would still be at 7 Anvil triggers, but in order to hit the maximum, because we would have 4 level 3s and a level 1, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Currently, we're at 7 already, so buying the level 1 Flute gives us no value while we have Anvil. We'll go ahead and take the Pearl here, we'll lock the Helmet as well, and we'll pass on the level 1 Flute, and then we'll go to the next wave here. The level 4 Flute is also less powerful because we have Anvil than it would be normally, because it just represents 1 Anvil trigger. But that's getting our weapons maxed out a wave earlier. I will say the Dock Moth has been very good this wave. I took a couple hits, sacrificed my crystal bonus as well as a result of that, but the Dock Moth was there to heal us up. I didn't see where the cat went that wave. I was planning to try to have it help us out. I guess buying ranged damage does also scale the cat a little bit. And it is the one that benefits most from damage scaling, even though it only gets 60% range scaling. It shoots really fast, so that 60% gets applied pretty frequently. And 60% range scaling is still not bad, because you will end up with an okay amount of range damage. So we would be sacrificing the crystal attack speed bonus for a bunch of % damage with the Bloody Hand. Given that I'm overall going to be taking the occasional hit anyways, I think, the Bloody Hand is going to be just worth more. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. Here I will take 20 luck, just increase my base luck, and then 7% more crit chance for extra piercing. Then I will... Okay, so if I combine the level 2s, that's the most effective, right? Because that means we'll only have 3 Anvil triggers left. Whereas if I combine the 2 level 3s, then we would have 4 left. So we're actually combining the level 2s here and buying the level 4. Now we only need 3 Anvil triggers to max out our Anvil. Take the helmet. I'll buy sunglasses. Flute only crits for 1.5x, so all this crit chance isn't great for our damage, but the piercing shots are so important for this weapon that I think it is worth building crit chance, and our base damage is really high, so 1.5x crit damage is still a lot of extra damage. I don't need the snake or the butterfly. I'm just gonna reroll here. Triangle of Power we can't really use because we have Bloody Hand, but I guess let's take another coral. And then I do have a coil, so Black Belt gives us bonus damage from that, but costs us luck, which this character can't afford to lose. So we'll pass on that. So you can see there it took a second for the corals to kick in. You have to stand still for a little bit before they start doing anything. Very visible on this character because we have 4 corals and not great regen otherwise, so you can see exactly how coral functions. It is funny in Brotato that there is this whole subset of standstill items, statue, barricade, coral, and so on, which makes it seem like it's kind of a supported playstyle, and it's basically not. Unless you're looking for a challenge run as a veteran player, the standstill items are almost always a trap. So it is a little unfortunate, I think, that the game kind of tricks players into buying those. Once again, the level 2 flute here doesn't do anything for our anvil triggers. We would still have have to have 2 to max out. I'll take the octopus. It does cost me a bunch of crit chance, which we've been painstakingly building, but the other stats are so good for us. Now we have 83 health, so we don't need the cake. I don't really need any of these others. Let's roll. Again, a level 2 turret doesn't do anything. I'll take the small fish. That can help reduce enemies below the health threshold for the flute. And then we'll roll again. Do I want a glass cannon? I have 18 armor. 25% damage is a lot, though we already have a bunch of percent damage. I think I'll pass on it. And then I'm going to roll here again. We'll take a mouse. That's a bunch of extra percent damage. Gentle alien. Or, yeah, a bunch of extra percent damage because we have bloody hand. I'll take the cursed cake as well, and we'll lock the gentle alien. We do, of course, want gentle alien with our flute build, even in the last wave. Not to mention that the stats on it are just good, even if you don't consider the increased enemy spawns. But increased enemy spawns are incredibly strong for this character. We have Baby Elephant and Cyberball, which benefit from it. We are using flutes. We obviously want consumable healing as well. Baby Elephant and Cyberball with Sifd relic as well. Very powerful. Honestly, this soldier flute run, I expected this to be a pretty difficult run, and there were points where it was more challenging, but it's been much stronger than I thought it would be. We did get some pretty powerful items, but the early game is where I expected this to suffer, where we didn't have any like particularly incredible luck. The cat was definitely nice. I'll just take 10 luck here, and then I'll do a reroll, and then, sure, we'll take some more crit chance. That'll help us kill the bosses a little faster. We'll take Gentle Alien and Penguin. Sharp Bullet, I don't think we want. Unfortunately, Baby Squid doesn't do anything at this point. I will upgrade my flutes to level 4 here, and we'll buy a Shady Potion. I don't need more max HP, so we can pass on the Acid. Shackles gives me 80 range, which is kind of nice. It does cap my move speed, and for a soldier build, we have really bad move speed. You usually want a lot of move speed on this character, so you can reposition to safer places and start shooting again. We've just not managed to find much, and have found items that decrease it. But Shackles is still good. The extra range, very good for the boss fights, and the regen, of course, is great. Engineering works with our Pocket Factory as well, so it's not terrible. Cursed Hunting Trophy, I guess I'll take just for the crit chance. Of course, the income from it is no longer relevant, but it will help us kill the bosses a little faster, and then we'll do another reroll. A bunch of really nice items here. Always in the for fun rerolls, you get the most ridiculous shops. And then let's roll again. And this is a much less disappointing shop to end the run on. And let's go fight the bosses. Oh yeah, so I should be staying still. And you can see there our coral kicked in after a second. Obviously, walked into all of those attacks. It doesn't actually matter that much if I take damage because we aren't going to keep the crystal bonus anyways. So as long as I don't take enough damage that I then die, which seems unlikely at this point, given how much healing we have, we're not losing anything. Just going to stand on top of the elite here and let our coral keep us alive while we kill it. And there we go. That's the soldier with flutes. This was a really fun run, honestly. I'm so happy that they fixed the soldier. This was kind of a frustrating character to play because you just wouldn't shoot a lot of the time, and that was really irritating. So really glad that they fixed that, and of course it goes very well with the pets because we got the extra bonus damage. The early cat dealt 25k damage, so it wasn't like the most ridiculous amount, but it really helped overcome the hurdles of the early game, so that was really nice. We hit level 30, so our early XP gain was great. 14 extra damage from the coil, which is still, of course, very good. We had 158 damage on our baby elephant, which dealt 150,000 damage overall. Scared Sausage for 5k, but that's not what it was for. Dangerous Bunny saved us a lot of money. Cyberball for 55,000, much worse than the baby elephants, but still good. Coupon saved us 330. Recycling Machine for 230. We got the Bone Dice for really good ratio on the Bone Dice as well. 20 damage for only 3 HP lost. And 300 extra materials from the bag. The Blazemander only dealt 12k. I think that the Blazemander was still pretty good, though. It helped set things on fire for our fried rice and our ice cube, so it was pretty nice there. And 12,000 damage that then decreases enemy health to the point where they can be charmed or helps the charmed enemies kill them is still reasonable. I don't think it was incredible, but I do think it was worth the pickup. Anything else here? Obviously, Gobbler's Hat gave us a ridiculous amount of money. Anvil got us to all level 4 weapons, and in the very last wave, we got 20 materials from our Cursed Hunting Trophy. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this soldier run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Here's folks. I'll catch you next time.